1 month will get you a place, 2 months into service, my dear, I didn't have an accommodation, they'll still get me a place. Hello everyone, welcome to Grow with Favor. Remember, here in this channel we share contents that are interesting, contents that are inspiring, and contents that have good moral value. Alright, so welcome. Today's video will be about accommodation and a very important aspect of your service here and when you go for national youth service. Alright, and in the course of the video I'll be answering a question asked by one of our subscribers here. He asked, how do I get a place to stay at my PPA? PPA means place of primary assignment. So that question will be answered in this video, and more contents around accommodation, what you should expect when it has to do with accommodation during your service here. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to share this video with as many as you can. If you've not subscribed, please do well to subscribe to this channel. You will not regret being a part of this channel. Let's get straight to work. Okay, getting an accommodation during your service here. All right, so note that during your orientation camp, that's a 3 weeks orientation camp. Of course, with the name camp, you should know that everybody will be sleeping over there. You'll be there for 3 good weeks. No coming out, no going out, no coming in. Yes, so I hope you don't expect that when you go for orientation, you'll be like, I have an uncle close by, I'll be going from his house to the camp. No, it's either you are there or you are not there. Before you leave the camp, rather, you don't really have an idea of where your PPA will be. Okay, so you cannot really go ahead of the end of camp to make preparation for your orientation, for your accommodation at your place of primary assignment, because number one, you don't even know the place. Now, the exceptions we have here are those persons who were already employed. Okay, they were already employed before they went for service, and they've agreed with their employers that, okay, I will serve here, I will go for my orientation camp, and after orientation camp, I will come back here to serve. Okay, that's totally a different scenario. All right, you'll be getting your posting letter, which contains your place of primary assignment the day camp closes. Okay, so that day camp closes, everyone is issued that letter, so you have an idea of where you're going to, the local government area you are going to. Now, when you get there, you begin to make plans for your accommodation. Most times in some local governments there are secretariats placed, and at the secretariats you have accommodation made available for core members. Some local, a few of them, let me be sincere, a few of them have it. But where most core members go to is those lodges or accommodation arrangements that have been made available by bodies, religious bodies, such as National Christian Corpus Fellowship. How do you actually know a PPA that provides accommodation and one that doesn't? Now, once you get to the secretariat, this is where proper investigation, let me put it that way, comes in. You ask people around, please, this is the PPA where I've been sent. Look, there is no place that someone hasn't served once, hasn't ever served. Okay, so it's, but aside those ones that are maybe new institutions that just got enlisted, with the scheme. All right, so but one is one that has record of people that have served there. You ask questions, please, in this place do they provide accommodation or not? That is one way you'll be able to have prior information. So the first thing you should know is that some places provide provide accommodation to their core members. Some PPAs provide accommodation to their core members. Now, they do it in several ways, but majorly in 3 different ways. The first one is, some people, they have an already existing accommodation created, or built for their core members. So once anyone is posted to that place, either a school, whatever it is, hospitals, they have it ready for them. Okay, so they just come there and That is it. So what the only thing you have to now look at is it conducive for me or not? If it's conducive for you, fine, you go with it. If it's not, you can choose to go somewhere. But one thing you should know, that once they've provided a place for you, if you don't like that place, your accommodation is on you. I mean, the budget is on you. Number two, for those who provide accommodation, they can decide to, for those who do not have one, they will ask you to go around and look for a place, and when you get a place, you let them know and they make the payments. All right, or some of them will be the ones to look around for an accommodation for you, and then they pay for it. That's the second way. But one thing I should tell you is this: they already have a budget. Believe me, PPAs already have their budget. So even if they're telling you, oh, go and look for a place, go and look for a place, you'll be surprised when you go there and you find a place. Let's say their budget was 50,000, okay, and you find a place that is 120,000. You'll be like, you begin to hear things like, we cannot afford it, to give me the caretaker's number, let me speak with him and know if they can. When you give them the call, you hear things like, it's too expensive, it's copper, you will not stay for up to a year and all that. So those are the dramas that actually come with accommodation at PPAs. And for some of them, when they see that the price is much, some of them will ask you either to go look for another place. Okay, some come out straight and tell you it's beyond our budget, this is our budget, go look for somewhere else. While for some, they will ask you to, they'll tell you this is what we have to pay. Is either we give you this amount and then you pay up the remaining. So it's now up to you. What do you want? Okay, and sometimes their budget is not always a standard accommodation. So if you don't like what they have, of course, most like they wouldn't give you a budget that is below the minimum accommodation costs in that place. There always a minimum, with which most times they give a budget, of. I give you an instance myself. I had this accommodation when I got my PPA, okay, and I was asked to look around. Initially, they told me we will find you one, and please, whenever they say we'll find you one, you have to pressurize them. Let me just put it this way: you have to keep reminding them, because if you don't, you will end up 1 month, 2 months, I will look for one. So if you have to, if they give you that kind of suggestion or that kind of feedback, just know that you have to sit up and keep requesting. And please, I wouldn't advise you to start work if they've not given you a place to stay. All right, but it's all up to you. So most time, okay, so it was like we'll get to a place, 1 month we'll get to a place, 2 months into service, my dear, I didn't have an accommodation, they'll still get me a place. And when in fact I ended up staying with someone, but that's not really what I want to talk about here. But let me put it this: when they finally got a place for me, I went ahead and started looking for a place. One of the places I got, they're like, it's too much, it's too expensive, we cannot, give me the caretaker's number, give me the landlord's number. That's the kind of Jesus they're hearing. So, and I had to, the first thing they actually asked me was, how much is the place? So that when I got to understand that they actually had a budget for accommodation, which they didn't want to exceed for any reason. All right, so I had to go looking for another place to stay. So remember the 3 things: is either they have a place already prepared for core members, or they ask you to go look for a place, okay, and they give you the money for it, or they go look for a place for you and pay for it. So whichever way, just know that they have a budget and they don't usually want to exceed their budget. And if your taste of accommodation is higher than their taste of accommodation, you have to pay up balance up with your money. Now there's something else that usually happens. I came across a core member during my service year, and what he was told was that he was like, I don't want to have an accommodation around your school, because that was the school. And was like, I like where I am, I want to stay there. And they decided they were like, okay, we'll give you the transport fare. I don't remember them ever giving it to him, and I didn't really bother asking him again, because I asked for like 2, 3, 4 months and he hadn't received it. And I was like, well, it's up to you. Whatever you want to do with your employers, it's your choice. Now, if you have been posted to a place and they don't provide accommodation, you have 2 options. It's either you rent one yourself according to your budget, and of course in renting one you can always pair up with 1 or 2 persons and foot the bill together. Yes, you all contribute and pay for it. It's a choice, it's an option for you. All right. Secondly, you can decide to stay alone, or your choice. Another option is to stay in an institutional home, such as the National Christian Corpus Fellowship Family House. I remember I once made a video. I made a video at NCCF Family House, Apomu, Osun State. You can always go back there and see what the place looked like. And I think I said a few things about the accommodation. Now, whether you're staying in an institutional family house or you're staying with a family, just know that family houses always have rules and regulations guiding them, so you can't just live anyhow you want in those places. So when you weigh your options, you know if you can stay there or not. But it's also an option. There you don't pay for accommodation. For some of them you cook together, for some you cook on your own, and there are always rules about guiding them. So yeah, it's all up to you to know which one works best for you, whether it's so close to your PPA and it should be feasible for you to stay there, or it's far from your PPA and you don't just want to stay there, or it might even be far from your PPA but you just feel this is where I want to be. Yeah, so I hope you found this video very interesting. I hope you found it very helpful, and I hope it goes a long way answering your questions about accommodation during your national youth service. And if you're seeing this video and you've not subscribed to this channel, please do well to subscribe, do well to like this video. You can always put your questions in the comment section and I'll try as much as I can to give you the proper answers to them. So see you as usual in the next interesting video.